Hold on tight, for you will be stunned by what we have just discovered. Jim Jones, the rapper, revealed in a shocking exclusive No and Love recently revealed the startling truth regarding the results of his newborn baby's DNA test. But hold on, this goes beyond chromosomes and genes, and oh, no, after learning the news, Chrissy Lampkin, his longtime companion and reality TV personality, has gone utterly crazy. The drama is unbelievable. People with emotional breakdowns, however, this is where the juicy part comes. Are these DNA samples evidence that Jim may have been concealing anything all along? Is this the most recent chapter in their crazy roller coaster, or are the results truly the final straw in a lengthy history of startling turns in their relationship? Come on, ride. Why have Chrissy's emotional responses pushed the internet into a frenzy, and who is actually responsible for these results? Plot complexity increases as the entire globe is watching to see how this family drama plays out. You won't believe the next thing we're going to tell you. Believe me, the twists will make you want to stay. This will blow your mind. Hold on tight. Okay, everyone, fasten your seatbelt. We are embarking on a journey so combustible that it has the potential to alter our understanding of the universe. Of celebrities, Jim Jones, a well-known rapper for many years, has just revealed something shocking to us all, so hold on to your seats. Additionally, you won't believe the startling information of his newborn's DNA test that is emerging. You read correctly, a DNA test. However, this is where things become more spicy. Lampkin, Chrissy, following the revelation, Jim's longtime girlfriend and reality TV star, is inconsolable. The responses, the drama, the complete emotional turmoil, this stuff cannot be made up. And let's be clear before we begin, this isn't your typical celebrity rumors. This is a completely insane controversy that has the internet in a frenzy. However, why has a straightforward DNA test shocked the media, fans, and even the couple? Let's go deeply into the past of best buddies. And believe me, this is far more complicated than it first appears. For those of you, Jim Jones, one of the most well-known figures in the rap industry, living under a rock, has been active for decades, generating headlines, hit songs, and disputes that seem to follow him everywhere. Here's the kicker, though. Even though Jim was the rap scene's king, his private life has always been a little, let's say, complex. Recall that Jim and Chrissy were the couple that had the public captivated when they were the stars of Love and Hip Hop New York. Their tale of love, their hardships and highs and lows, were all captured on camera. Not to mention the controversy that surrounded their relationship. Jim's open denial of getting married to Chrissy, the strain caused by the infidelity rumors. Despite everything that has happened to them, this pair has always managed to weather the storm. However, currently, oh my, things are going to get even more bizarre. Jim's recent announcement is where it all begins. Using his Instagram account, the rapper posted a picture of his newborn. However, that's not all. The startling disclosure of the DNA test results was included with the adorable baby's picture. And let me tell you, nobody anticipated these outcomes. Although Jim and Chrissy's bundle of joy delighted admirers, there was a hint of tension in the air. Something didn't seem quite right. However, let's take a brief diversion before moving forward. Jim Jones is well known for more than simply his music. He is well known. People have a reputation based on decades of personal struggles, disputes, and conflicts. Whether it's the conflict between him and other rappers, with his own relatives, or his prior legal issues, Jim Jones has a history of scandal, and this latest drama is no exception. Go back in time to when Jim and his mother-in-law, Mama Jones, were involved in that massive scandal. We all recall Mama Jones and Chrissy's public altercation, the taunts, and charges, the severe drama in the family. Jim was portrayed as someone who, let's face it, wasn't exactly acting as the peacemaker during that entire ordeal. Additionally, even though things eventually calmed down, Jim and Chrissy's relationship began to exhibit more and more signs of strain. People began to question, is this in addition to the notorious engagement drama? Are they truly as stable as they seem on television, or is there something more sinister occurring behind closed doors? Fans witnessed Chrissy's repeated heartbreak for years as Jim turned down her proposal. Despite being together for more than 10 years, Jim just wasn't prepared to commit to that. Fans conjectured, did it indicate more serious problems? Was this Only a publicity gimmick for the show, or was Jim withholding something? In any event, it was evident that Jim had no plans to advance their relationship until he did. In a major storyline twist that nobody noticed approaching, finally, in front of the cameras, Jim asked Chrissy to marry him. Everyone believed that the turmoil was finished and that Jim and Chrissy were at last happy. However, given the unexpected results of this DNA test, things are going to grow far more complicated than anyone could have predicted. Let's discuss this baby. When Jim and Chrissy announced they were pregnant, baby fans were overjoyed. Ultimately, this pair has experienced a great deal together and they were about to become parents. What a lovely time. However, when Jim revealed the DNA test findings, things took a drastic turn. Why? As the outcomes were startling and not only in an adorable way. Oh no. Let's just say that the information that has surfaced regarding this baby's DNA has the potential to unpack everything. The fans' immediate response was one of complete incredulity. It seems as though they were unable to comprehend it, and Chrissy's response is insignificant but less than emotional turmoil. Time will tell if this is all true, but are we about to see the end of this once fantastic celebrity relationship? The tension is killing us. And the questions began to pour in as the social media globe erupted in responses. What precisely do these DNA results mean? For example, how did Jim and Chrissy end up where they are, and who is to blame for this sudden turn in the family drama? Fans want answers, but they want to halt until they receive them, and to be honest, we aren't either, since this is only the beginning. As we examine the specifics of this startling discovery in more depth, it's becoming increasingly obvious that Jim and Chrissy's relationship is not at all what it first appeared to be. However, what actually transpired behind the scenes? Stay with us as we're going to reveal all the mysteries that lie beneath the surface. Let's get right to the heart of this controversy because, believe me, this DNA story is more complex than you might think. Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin are well known for being the underdog pair that never give up on their love in spite of the likelihood. However, this most recent discovery is completely upending their meticulously manicured image. Let's first discuss those DNA results. The fervor around Jim's post, the findings of the DNA test, were more significant than simply the fact that they had a child. You may be wondering, what's the big deal? It's just a baby's DNA. Oh, but it's not that easy, people. Jim revealed a shocking fact in addition to the fact that his baby was healthy. Instead of confirming the baby's paternity, the DNA test created more questions than it did answers. And you are aware that that signifies that someone's concealing something. Here is the scenario, then. We are unable to provide specific identities based on unofficial sources, but let's assume that these sources are close to the family. Inconsistencies were found in the test findings. Inconsistent DNA markers did not match the genes of the parents. And this could be a third-party engagement that nobody was ready for. That's correct. It appears that the test's findings indicate something far more intricate than anyone could have envisioned. Let's be clear, might the baby be connected to someone else? Might this be the end of Jim and Chrissy's journey as we know it? There isn't any proof to you can't ignore the rumors in the air, but you can't confirm any outrageous charges just yet. Although the DNA test is truthful, there is a chance that someone is attempting to hide the facts. Numerous unnamed sources have already informed us that Jim and Chrissy's relationship has been put to the test before through confidentiality rumors concerning infidelity, cheating, and Jim's complex relationships with other women have surfaced over the years. Thus, let's take a moment to dissect this. This DNA drama is just the beginning. Let's face it, there is no reason to question the accuracy of the DNA test if it is accurate. Therefore, it's possible that this infant is not Jim's biological child. Additionally, who is specifically to blame for the confusion that certain insiders are claiming to have closed? Jim's friends and family had their own theories on why the test findings weren't accurate. But here's the thing, each time an individual attempts to delve more, the walls rise. It seems like someone is ensuring that the true story is not discovered. Why is this being concealed, and are we facing a scandal of this magnitude? Let's travel back in time and examine the responses that followed the release of the test results. As anticipated, the internet went crazy, but not in the way you think. Believe that fans weren't merely perplexed or surprised, they were enraged. Almost immediately, a social media craze sprang out, with admirers deluging Jim and Chrissy's profiles. With irate remarks, some followers thought that Jim had betrayed them by concealing this important secret. Others focused on Chrissy, accusing her of concealing the truth. However, the actual drama did not occur on the internet. It took place behind the scenes, and Chrissy was delighted to show off her family to the after the DNA test results were revealed. The entire globe fell silent, and fans began to speculate. Did Chrissy find the results as shocking as everyone else, or was she involved from the beginning? Given that she has been with Jim for decades, you would think Chrissy would have something to say to support her. Her entire world is collapsing. However, what if the strategy included the silence? What if Chrissy is only biding her time till the ideal opportunity to make her stunning declaration that we have all witnessed? Chrissy Lampkin's previous response to drama, from her fiery attitude to her passionate emotions for hip-hop and love, Chrissy doesn't passively watch events unfold, she responds. But she's keeping her cards close to her chest this time. Does this quiet indicate that she's prepared to reveal yet another shocking revelation? Only time shall tell. But here's the thing, we have some inside knowledge that could help us understand what's actually happening. It's a little out there, I've heard. Chrissy has been aware of the DNA test results for months, which is one of the most outrageous rumors circulating about the relationship. And that she has been attempting to determine how to deal with the consequences. Rumor has it that Chrissy is creating her own strategy to preserve her reputation. Could this be the beginning of a full-scale public relations battle between Chrissy and Jim? Will Chrissy abandon Jim or stick by him if she feels deceived? And speaking of the baby, let's not overlook the timing. How will it impact their relationship in the long run if the baby isn't Jim's? The infant entered their lives at the time when things were meant to be becoming more stable. Despite having already weathered the storm, Jim and Chrissy were prepared for their next chapter. Or so it appeared. Now that the DNA drama is fully visible, their lives are taking a turn for the worse. However, the twist here is that this scandal's timing, nothing could be worse. Why? Because Jim has recently been embroiled in his own crisis. He has been accused of tax cheating, dubious business practices, and even potential connections to shady characters in the music business. Given everything that is going on, could the baby's DNA results serve as a trigger for something even more frightening? Let's add the constant existence of media insiders and alleged leaked stories. Based on unconfirmed reports, rumors concerning Jim's financial transactions, interpersonal ties, and even dubious behavior have been circulated by those in his tight circle. Associations that might turn against him, and you know who gets caught in the midst of all of this? Chrissy. If this DNA test really marks the start of a greater scandal, then Chrissy might end up at the center of something she didn't expect. Could this spell the end of Jim and Chrissy's rule? As the only thing is certain, this is far from finished. Could we be seeing the end of their empire, power couple of reality TV? So, people, here we are. The world is watching Jim and Chrissy closely as the results of the DNA test are released. Will the truth tear them apart, or will they be able to withstand the storm that nobody anticipated? Everything is now in the open, including the responses, charges, and secrets. But hold on, it's only getting started. We've discovered oneself at the point of no return, the cliffhanger. The consequences of the DNA test controversy involving Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin are only getting started. And believe me when I say this will become even more messy. We're going to examine the possible repercussions that Jim, Chrissy, and their whole business may encounter. The reality is the ramifications of this controversy may be more extensive than anyone anticipated, so let's not get ahead of ourselves and first discuss regarding the legal repercussions. Jim Jones may face more than just public scrutiny. If the DNA test findings are as bad as some sources claim, disgrace, he might be dealing with a serious legal dispute. We are now discussing more than simply paternity cases and custody disputes. If the DNA in those findings are verified, and if they show that Jim is not the biological father, we may see the mother of all legal disputes. What's the actual account of Jim's relationship with Chrissy and his paternity? Do legal experts think this relationship is more complicated than it first appears? Or let us simply said, are highly linked sources? Jim might be subject to severe legal action. Consider this scenario. What if Chrissy, who has said nothing at all regarding the controversy, chooses to take this matter to What if all goes wrong? Could we enter a conflict for the truth? Examining years of drama in the courtroom, would this case's media coverage become its own reality program?